So welcome to the Nagas. This is a myofascially intelligent movement practice full of kind of cyclospiralic movement, and the intention here is to understand and work with this vocabulary of practice, but to keep it really playful and exploratory, because it's about you feeling into your body, finding deeper and deeper awareness inside the moving, living body that you are. First of all, we begin with the breath. So come into wild breathing, where you're gently spreading the nostrils, breathing in through the nose, tip of the tongue behind the top teeth. And take a few slow inhales, slow exhales. I want the breath to be round about 4-second inhale, 4-second exhale. I like to work with Ujjayi breath in this practice as well. If you don't know it, you can learn it from one of our other videos. And if you do know it and you can do it well, and that means by doing it well, it means it's really smooth breath. It doesn't sound raspy or like a steam train or anything like that. It's a really good, clear sound. Then you can use it. But it's entirely up to you. So very simply come into the breath first of all. And when you're ready, plant your feet on the floor and feel the four corners of each foot, the big toe pad, the little toe pad, and either side of both heel. And as best you can, spread the four toe spaces open on the floor to really cultivate that sensory map, that sensory motor map of the feet in connection with the brain all the way through. So the feet grounded and more or less heel through second toe roughly pointing forward depending on your structure. Just feel the stacking of your body, feet, knees, pelvis. Feel the rotational angle in the pelvis, belly, chest, and head, more or less stacked over each other. So really cultivating this good breathing within this vertical body that we bipeds have. And from here, we're going to breathe in and lift the shoulders up, lifting and rolling the shoulders. Again, to begin with, keep it real simple. Just lifting, squeezing forwards, lifting up, rolling backwards. Exhalation as you take it down back. Inhale as you come up and open. Make sure your neck and your jaw stay relaxed. Start slowly. So start with mindful awareness and build up speed or playfulness once you get really comfortable with the movement. So you can build up that movement in a way that feels really good. You can reverse the movement, coming back the other way. Change the breath then, so it's an exhalation coming forwards here. Inhale to open up at the back. So we're changing the breath with the movement. We feel how that is in your body. And we're going to keep returning to this practice. This is working with the upper trapezius, relaxing in here. The face muscles, the social engagement system, relaxing beautifully. And coming one hand onto the side of the neck, so crossing over the back of the body, and just drawing open the upper trapezius muscles off the back of the neck, drawing it around. A simple stroking action with the breath, that's an exhalation. Turning the head slightly to one side. Drawing open. Just talking to those upper trapezius muscles. And the face can move to three positions, slightly up, looking forwards, looking downwards. And that gets into the fibers of the upper trapezius in a really good way. And of course this muscle, the upper traps, is so associated with stress and social stress that it's such a good thing to do some release in here. Now, if you need to, make some sound. And then simply take the head up, and we're going to keep the chin slightly tucked and get the feeling of lifting the chin slowly up to the sky. So we're going to all the intervertebral spaces in the neck as you breathe in, and curl the chin down as you breathe out. So we're not just tilting on one vertebra, we're going to feel into all these cervical vertebrae and cultivate that extension through the neck really beautifully with the inhale and the exhale. Just a couple of times, one time more. Back into the shoulders. Just re-release the shoulders. Move if you want to. Feel free to move the feet. Spread the feet on the floor. So every time you're stepping on the floor, you're spreading the toes open. And that thumbs on the shoulders. And we're going to do a little shoulder circling like this. Gentle shoulder circling again. Inhaling as we come back. Exhaling as we come down and release. And making sure you go both ways. And you could do one at a time as well. Just rolling through this movement with the breath. And if that feels good, then we can do bigger movements with the shoulders as well. Alternate the arms on top. And go backwards as well. Maybe turn the palms up if that feels good. So you can play with the palms up or palms down, alternating. And shake out. Shake the head and jaw. Make some sound if you want. So we're going to start rotating the wrists, this circumduction in the wrists. They're playing with opening the palms, flexion, extension in the hand, as well as this circumduction. And if you think about what hands do all day, they just close and grasp. It's really good to open the hands up and get that extension through all the way through, and you can feel this movement up into the arms. Then stepping the feet, spreading the toes with each step. So spreading the toes open best you can do, and making faces at the same time. So we're going to be making as many faces as you can. Big wide faces, small little tiny mouth. Alternate. Scrunch it up. Stick the tongue out. Every single shape you can find in your face. See if you can make your ears move as well. And shake out. Roll the shoulders. Take a breath. Make sure your feet are planted really well, just a little bit wider than hip width. Get those toes open best you can do. Feel the four roots, feel the arches of the feet, medial arches of the feet. Feel them lift as best as they will for your feet. And breath in. We're going to imagine you've got a bowl here, and we're going to bring this breath up. We're going to spiral through the shoulder joint, spiraling through here until the elbow comes up kind of just behind the ear. The bowl is facing upwards. Then we're going to breathe in and lift up through this elbow. So we're going to lift up through the elbow. And then reach out on the exhalation. And gently pulse. Come back on the inhale a little bit. Come back through the lifting up with the elbow. And exhale, reach out as we pulse. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Inhale, come up again. Reorient, feel your feet, feel the stacking in the body. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. You can support on the side here if you want to. And drop the arm down. So you drop the elbow and the arm down to come out of it. In breath up the other side, spiral up. Remember, we're leading with the elbow here on the inhalation to get through this, to feel the superficial fascia, deep investing fascia, the myofascia. We're going to get through the layers of the fascia here with this movement. Really feel it. And the orientation of the arm changes it. And whether the palm is down or up changes it. So you can play, explore. I like the palm up because it gives me a deeper feeling of connection all the way down through the lateral line here. So it's inhale up and back, Exhale, reach. I like to do the whole thing about 4 times each side. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Pulse. And drop. Roll the shoulders to come out of it. The next one works on the lateral line in the same kind of way, but this time we're going to be crossing over the feet. So one front leg is very slightly bent, and we're going to be squeezing the thighs together. So the adductors are active here. And the arm that is the same as the back leg, so for me that's my left arm, is reaching up, sliding along the side of the body, up behind the ear, and then reaching away on that exhalation. And then cross over, cross the feet, slide this arm up, reaching up, inhale as you come up, exhale as you reach. Inhale as you come up, exhale to reach. Inhale to come up, exhale. Make that breath big and beautiful, really beautiful breath. Feel it, fill the body. You can feel the ribs opening here. You can feel the side of the body here, get the down through the tensor fasciae lata, up through the pelvis here, up the sidelines of the obliques here, feeling into the QLs, quadratus lumborum, up through the intercostals here as you're breathing in. Abdominodiaphragmatic and thoracic breath here, and exhale as you reach it out. One more time the other side. Inhale and exhale, and gently pulse and drop out of it, and come back into this neutral stacking. Just lift and roll the shoulders, shake the head and jaw, bend the knees here, drop the knees down, just say hello to your knees with your hands, get some touch here. Fascia, bodies love touch. Yeah. And drop into the squat, this gentle, easy squat, best you can do. Tuck the tailbone just very softly, a soft posterior tilt of the pelvis, dropping that tailbone a little bit here. And we're going to breathe in and float the arms up, horizontal, and take the palms out to the side here. And 4 slow, steady breaths here. And then let the arms float up, and the fingertips almost come to touch. Drop the shoulder blades down, create space between the deltoids and the ears. And 4 breaths here, reaching up as high as you can, dropping down as low as you can with the sit bones. Four breaths here. And then we're going to reach up with the inhale on one hand, draw up one hand, push it up to the sky, and drop the same sit bone. So that sit bone is going to drop down to the sky. So getting into right into the QLs here, the quadratus lumborum, in a delicious way, reaching up. And that's an inhale to reach up. Exhale to release. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to release. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to release. I like sometimes changing the breath around as well, so we can breathe in here and then exhale to the other side. Inhale to this side and exhale to the second side. One more like this, breathing in up with my right hand and then exhale with the left. Come back and then inhale with the left and exhale with the right, and then finish up. Inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, release. Turn the palms around. Take 4 breaths. And you can play with the movement here as well if you want to, that reaching movement. With the breath again, it's all about the breath. And let the arms drop down slowly, let them float down to the side, staying in the squat. Reach out through the palms, fingers wide. And let the palms lower. Let them float down slowly with the breath. That's an exhalation as they float down. Roll those shoulder blades back down again. Take them down a couple of times. And let the arms float up. Space under the armpits. Thumbs and index fingers in line with each other. Fingertips almost touching. And cultivate the feeling of breathing up the back of the body. Tongue is behind the top teeth and then down the front of the body. And gently release. So let your palms float up, breathing in. Rest them on the chest, feel them press on the sternum slightly. It can be nice to put the palms together like this, or on the chest, either way, either like this or like this, whichever way works best for you. And if you're here, drop this thumb region, the thenar region down here, just underneath your sternum here. And here, planting the feet, straightening the legs, strong, straight legs. We're going to breathe in and lift the sternum bone up into the sky. That's a spinal extension, a back bend, to lift open this chest to the sky here. And then we're going to drop to the side, beginning the exhale, curling into flexion, thoracic flexion on the exhale. Inhale as we come up the other side. So we're getting this circumduction in the spine, working with that flexion, extension, lateral flexion, in conjunction with the breath. Exhale as you come round. Inhale as you come up and back. And go both ways. And drop the arms down, take a breath or two. Step forward with the left foot and back with the right. So the back leg is in slight extension at the hip and the front leg is in flexion at the hip. Spread the toes. The back foot, the angle through the center of the back foot, the midline of the back foot, is more or less kind of 60 degrees facing forwards, that kind of angle like this, 45, 60, somewhere there. So feel your angle so you don't twist the knee joint. We're going to stay in this movement with flexion and extension here. And the movements here, there are 8 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 positions at the base. So that's 1, down and out, 2, round and across, 3, round about the navel, 4, round about the lower ribs, 5, somewhere around the low shoulder point, 6, somewhere around the nose, 7, around the cranium, and 8 just above the top of the head. Now, each of those positions we're going to be taking an exhalation, and it's not about the arm movement. It's not about wiggling the arm. It's not about the arm moving here. It's about spinal movement. It's about getting the spinal rotation happen. So it can be really nice to keep one hand on the ribs here to feel that spine rotating so it doesn't become about the arms. Keep your legs strong and steady. and exhale in the first position, pulsing into the exhale, slow 4-second exhale, and then a 4-second inhale at the first position. And then up to the next level and the same. So at each of these 8 levels, you're doing an exhale followed by an inhale. And then do an inhale and exhale at each position on the way down. And change sides. Step the other leg forwards and second leg back. And the same this side, just free up the shoulders again and come into it. Find your positions. Exhale and inhale at each of the 8 positions on the way up. Pulsing into the breath. And then an inhale and an exhale in each position, pulsing into that all the way down. This is enabling your body to breathe well. And it's enabling good rotation at each of the segmental levels of the thoracic vertebrae and the associated ribs. And that's 8 levels there, so we've got 4 more to do to give us the 12 thoracic vertebrae, the 12 sets of ribs. And we want good rotation at each level because that enables the ribs to work properly so we can breathe properly. So let's go into the first side again, and we'll do the next 4 levels. And that's like this. So this arm is horizontal here from elbow, straight line through to this shoulder, through to this shoulder. Again, what I'm not doing is wagging my arm around. This is about the spinal rotation. So again, it can be really nice to have your hand on the chest here, on the sternum or on the ribs here, just to feel that rotation. And we're going to be doing an exhalation and an inhalation at each of 4 positions. And the change is the angle of the forearm. So the first position is here, 1, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, vertical forearm. So horizontal to vertical, 2 positions in the middle. And we're going to breathe into these now, breathing out and then breathing in. And then breathing coming down as well. And change sides, same to the other side. So this first part we did was crossing over, contralateral. So one arm across the opposite leg. This time it's the same side. And an exhale and inhale at each of these 4 positions. And all the way down. And step forward. Release the shoulders. Shake the head and jaw. Take a breath. So again, working with the spinal twist and the breath, we're going to be simply exhaling and floppy movement. Yeah? Keep the feet on the floor, keep the feet planted so the heel stays down, so I'm not going to be bringing the feet up. But the pelvis can move, the spine can move. Just this gentle, floppy twist to the side. Inhaling to the front, exhaling to the side. Now we're going to take the movement up a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is lifting up here and we're pushing back. So it's an active movement through the palm, space in the armpit, an active movement in the palm, pushing backwards, looking at where the hand is going. So reaching back and looking, that's an exhale. Inhale, come through to the front. Exhale, push to the other side. So it's an exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, exhale. Exhale, keeping really grounded, the knees can be bent a little bit. And we're then going to do 3 levels where we've got the bottom, the middle and the top layer. So we're going to go middle, middle, and then reaching up, and then the middle, and then lower, lower, exhale into the lower, exhale into the lower, exhale into the middle, exhale into the middle, exhale up, exhale middle, exhale bottom, exhale to bottom, middle. And just keep going with this for a little bit, and those 3 layers, these 3 levels, reaching as far around as you can. And if that feels really good, then you can pull back on the inhale as well. So you get a push on the exhale and a pull on the inhale. So you get center and breathe. So again, working with the spinal twist and the breath, we're going to be simply exhaling and floppy movement. Yeah? Keep the feet on the floor, keep the feet planted so the heel stays down, so I'm not going to be bringing the feet up. But the pelvis can move, the spine can move. Just this gentle, floppy twist to the side. Inhaling to the front, exhaling to the side. Now we're going to take the movement up a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is lifting up here and we're pushing back. So it's an active movement through the palm, space in the armpit, an active movement in the palm, pushing backwards, looking at where the hand is going. So reaching back and looking, that's an exhale. Inhale, come through to the front. Exhale, push to the other side. So it's an exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, exhale. Exhale, keeping really grounded, the knees can be bent a little bit. And we're then going to do 3 levels where we've got the bottom, the middle and the top layer. So we're going to go middle, and then reaching up, and then the middle, and then lower, exhale into the lower, exhale into the lower, exhale into the middle, exhale up, exhale middle, exhale bottom, exhale to bottom, middle. And just keep going with this for a little bit, and those 3 layers, these 3 levels, reaching as far around as you can. And if that feels really good, then you can pull back on the inhale as well. So you get a push on the exhale and a pull on the inhale. So you get Center and breathe. We'll come down to the belly now. If you put your hands, interlace your fingers, put them on the belly so the little fingers are just on the pubic bone. Wrap your fingers around the belly here, and we're simply going to make these big circumductive movements, coming around as far as you can to the front and to the sides and to the back. Breathing in to come to the front, breathing out as you go backwards with your bum. And the other way. I love doing it with my eyes closed sometimes. I love doing these movements sometimes with my eyes open, sometimes with my eyes closed. It's really interesting if you close the eyes because it challenges your balance systems. We tend to be so visual. Of course, the balance is in the ear, balancing mechanism in the ear. And then change the breath. So you're going to breathe out as you come forward and breathe in as you come back. What feels good for you? What feels right for you? It's really important to explore your body and get that subjective inquiry and feeling into the body so you know how this works and how it feels. The next part of this practice, we're going to go into this movement here. If you can put your fingers, fingertips, digit tips, phalange tips on top of each other like that, just gently press here, make a little shape here, keep your armpits relaxed and open. And then we're going to be pushing the pelvis forward into a pelvic thrust, out to the side, shift to the side, and then arching backwards. So playing with a slight pelvic rotation on the hip joint, this circumductive movement, and this kind of lateral shift to either side. So it's shift, posterior rotation, shift, anterior rotation, shift, posterior rotation, shift, anterior rotation. So we're doing that kind of movement here. Again, linking it with the breath. You can do it very softly, and you can do it more vigorously. And if you do it more vigorously, you get to feel all the muscle groups around the hips and the pelvis here, and the back, the lower back and the belly. You get to feel them all. It's when the muscles switch on and switch off, when they're activating and releasing, that we can really get a sense of awareness in the structures. And that's a beautiful thing to find, is this embodied awareness, this depth feeling in conjunction with the breath here. And again, play with the breath. Which movement feels right to breathe in first? Is it the forward or the backward movement? And then play with that for a few breaths and then turn it around, do it the other way around, and get a real sense of how you can explore this movement. Get a real sense of how you can explore this movement. And the next part of the movement is to come forward where we're pulling one iliac crest, the anterior superior spine here, forwards. And then that bum cheek's going to go back, this front knee is bending, pushing that pelvis backwards, bringing the other anterior superior spine forwards, that bum cheek going back and shifting around. So getting this kind of figure of 8 loop with the pelvis happening here. You find this kind of movement in many dance forms, particularly things like salsa, tango, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's a wonderful movement. The center of gravity is here. It's a wonderful movement for the pelvis, for all the structures around here. Slow, steady breath. Feel the breath. And when you finish, come back into gentle circles. Relocate the pelvis above the feet. Belly and the chest above the pelvis. The head above the chest. Come back into stacking. Drop your arms down for a moment. And breathe, eyes open or eyes closed. So we're going to be standing on one foot for this. So again, if your balance isn't that, just first of all, remember that balance is just managed imbalance. We're always out of balance. It's just how we manage that imbalance. And the feeling of managed imbalance gives us balance. So get a good planting of the foot on the floor. Spread your toes open, those 4 roots of the foot, big toe pad, little toe pad, both sides of the heel, the medial arch working, toe spaces spread, best you can do. And then shift your weight onto that one foot here. And all we're going to do here is balance here and just bring the knee up to the chest on the opposite side, towards the chest, just for a few breaths. and then out to the side. And then take the knee backwards, holding onto the ankle. Just reach the knee back as far as you can, keeping the upper body upright. And the same to the other side. In the second part of this movement, we're going to be doing making circles with the hips. If you need to lean on something, put your hands on a wall, do that. You know, that's part of managed imbalance. If you need to, you do it. It's absolutely fine. And then gradually take your fingers off, lighten the fingers, and then take your hands away. This is kind of making an ellipse with the knee. Point the toes down. Want to make sure we're not sticking the bum cheek up like this. So we're going to keep this feeling of this ellipse reaching back through the knee joint. Sync the movement with the breath. Synchronize it with the breath. And make sure you go both ways. If you get clunky places in the hip, just slow down through the movement. Slow down, be a bit more mindful in those places. As long as it's not associated with pain, it's probably doable. And again, the other side. Synchronize that movement with the breath. I like to do about 12 each side. And the third part of this, do what feels right to you. 4 is good. 6 is good. Do what feels right to you. The third part of this one is like an infinity loop. The knee is doing this kind of shape like this. So we're going to take the knee up. Drop the knee down the diagonal, up the side, down the diagonal, up the front, down the side. Again, synchronize the movement with the breath. Let your body define the breath on this one. And then we're going to go the other way. Down the front, up the diagonal, down the side. And the same on the other side. And we're going to do both ways as well, this side, both ways. Take your time. And step back. And to finish up this movement, we're going to cross the foot behind, just reach up. If you can't touch your foot, touch your knee. Just play with this contralateral movement. And if you can, touch the foot a few times. And change over. Nice. And then a bit of shimmying. Just get comfortable in the movement, playing the back, crossing back, crossing back, crossing back. Sweet movement. And come back to standing. Take a breath or two. So for this next movement, I'm going to do it to the side so you can see me. You're going to bend your knees and put your hands down on the floor. Now, if the back line of your body, that's from the plantar fascia, up through the back of the legs here, hamstrings, up along the back, if that line is tight and you find that you curl up when you try and get your hands to the floor, I want you to put something underneath your hands. Yoga blocks, books, a little stool, anything to rest your hands on. If you can, put your fingertips on the floor otherwise, and bend your knees a little bit. Now the inhalation, you're going to be breathing in and bringing the sternum forward between the gateway of the arms. The shoulder blades are going down the back, shoulder blades down. Bring the heart forward on the inhale, and on the exhale you're going to straighten one leg. I'm straightening my left leg, and you're going to lift the toes on the leg that's straightening, and that's to keep the medial arch lifting and to keep that femur rotating gently outwards. The other leg, you're going to be up on the ball of the foot. Then you're going to change over, breath in, bring the heart forward, straighten the opposite leg, that's my right leg now, and lift the medial arch, spread the toes, lift the toes, keeping that back long and straight. And up on the ball of the foot on the opposite leg. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This is a really useful exercise for people whose back line is very tight, because what happens then is the hamstrings, when they get under tensile loading, they switch off the muscles on the back here, automatically switches on. And this is a nice little repatterning exercise, because what you're prioritizing then is the erector muscles in the spine, keeping that length in the spine here with the inhalation, and then straightening up the leg. And again, one thing that tends to happen is people tend to medially rotate in the femur and collapse the medial arch. So this is making sure none of that happens. We're keeping this good orientation through the legs into the hip joint, medial arch, femur to hip joint, and at the same time prioritizing the erector spinae here, so we can lengthen into this hamstring and start talking to this body and seeing if it's interested in shifting shapes, changing the way it's working with the breath and the movement together. And then when you've done, simply drop the head down, just relax down into the movement. You can bend the knees a little bit. I like to bend my knees in it. If you're really flexible, you don't have to. But it's kind of nice. It takes the pressure out the back to bend the knees. Just gently hold here, and then curl up slowly, keeping the knees bent, just vertebrae by vertebrae. You can wiggle and move in it. Wiggle as feels fit. Come slowly up, stacking the vertebrae up on top of each other in the spine. Head down to last. Head down. Shoulder blades, put them back in place. Head down to last. And then gently bring the head up. Stack the head up on top of the chest. And breathe. So now we're going to take the legs wide. We're going to come into this wide squat. Again, keep the toes spread best you can, those roots in the feet, and check that your line through the femur here, this line through the femur, the midline through the patella is more or less out through the second toe. Drop down into the squat in a way that feels good, and we're going to breathe in, crossing the wrists here. Breathe in, fingers dropping. Opening up to this point on the inhale, hold the breath here for a moment or two. Hold the breath in, and breathe slowly out. Slow as you can. Really slowly. So we're going to this triangle breath with movement. And we can breathe in directly into the exhale as well. Join the digit tips. Hold the breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Hold the breath out. Last time. And turn the feet parallelish, and then step back into standing if you want to. Take a breath. So this next one, we're going to take a wide squat again. In your flow practice, you could simply stay in the wide squat and move from here. We're going to come into this wide squat, and then exhale, drop the hands down to the floor, either side of the front foot, best you can do. Now if you need to, what you can simply do is walk on the floor here, breathing in, coming to center, and breathing out to the other side. And that starts to get some movement initiated. Otherwise, we're going to be simply lifting the side, breath in, come up to center, and breath out, reaching the arms open. One arm with this leg, this arms are mirroring the legs. Turn the feet parallel, bend the knees, drop the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, bring the heart forward, and exhale, gently straighten those legs. If you need something under the hands, do that. Otherwise, we're very simply going to walk those hands back between the legs. Take a breath or two here, and you can bend and straighten the legs. Inhale, bring the chest up, plant the hands on the ground, and step the feet back, put the knees down. So here we are on the hands and knees. So I'm going to turn to the camera slightly so you can see what I'm doing. So on this movement, tuck your toes underneath, feel the toes on the floor, and on the exhalation, you're going to be bringing the hands back a couple of centimeters and arching up with the spine. That's your exhale. You can wiggle the spine if you want to. And on the inhalation, we're going to be bringing the hands forwards, rolling the shoulder blades down the spine, and opening up the front of the spine. The sit bones will spread a little bit. So we've got this exhale, and the inhale. And the exhale. And the inhale, and the exhale. And if that feels really good, then we can also wiggle the spine. You can play with the hand positions and come into this circumductive exploration in the spine. And here I like to have one hand in the midline, so we're playing with this movement here like this. So here we are in what's called the tabletop, all fours. And from here, we're going to push the weight forwards keeping the arms straight. Take the head and the chest forward as far as you can possibly take it. And then breathe out and slowly lower the chest down towards the floor, keeping those elbows tucked in towards the side of the body, and gently pulse here. Drop the head down as you come up with an inhalation. It's important to drop the head because it keeps the upper trapezius muscles off, and we don't want to be tightening those up and getting into some kind of a head-driven stress response. So we're going to simply come forward again, reach forward, exhale down, pulse, drop the head down, inhale, come up and back, shifting the weight back into the knees. You could, of course, come down toward the floor. You can go anywhere with these movements. Like I said at the beginning, this is kind of like a basic vocabulary of play, of body play. This is really good with the way it works with the Rombo serrator sling. So we're going to be coming here, pulsing here as far as you can. Reach forward and pulse. And you can bounce backwards and forwards in this movement as long as it feels good in your wrists and your body, breathing well. I like to hold my breath here as well. Come back in the spine, roll the spine. Coming forward again from the tabletop, breathing out as we lower down to the floor, and then diving the belly into the ground. Bring the arms forward, dropping the head, shake the head and jaw. I like to tuck my toes underneath. Some people like their feet flat. Check what works well for you. If you feel any squiffy, uncomfortable feelings in your lower back, you've got to take your elbows wider and start off small. So systematic. We don't want any uncomfortable feelings in the back. And what we're going to be doing here in this position is breathing in and getting the feeling of being a snake and bringing the belly forward, the chest forward and up slightly. The back of the neck stays long, so we're looking down at the floor just in front of the hands. Not going to be lifting the head up like this. Let's keep this up. If that feels good, and of course the elbows can come in. Make sure you work in a way that works for your back, so the back has to feel good all the time. So again, breath in is lifting the heart forward, pressing into the floor with the elbows, shoulder blades down the back of the neck long, jaw relaxed, looking down at the floor there. 4 or 5 breaths here, 6 breaths, 8 breaths, whatever. Just a few breaths. Really slow, full breath. About 4-second inhale. 4, 5, 6-second exhale. You can come to a coherent breath in this, a 6-6 breath quite easily. And you do a box breath in here. You could come in and just breath hold the end of the inhale and the end of the exhale as well. If this movement feels really good, what you can then do is come down, bring the hands back, just slightly out of the shoulders, outside the shoulders, about shoulder width. Roll the shoulder blades down, check your head and jaw is relaxed. Inhale, lift up. Support the movement with activating the butt cheeks, the glutes. Lift up and open and breathe here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, you might want to turn to the side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn to the side. Find your movement that feels good here. And when you're ready to come down, lower slowly down to the floor. Put the hands down underneath the shoulders. Lift your bum up, push your knees forward, tuck your toes. Drop your head down as you lift up. Pulse on the ground here. Breathing, breathing, breathing well. Drop the head down. Inhale to come up. Arch. Back into spine, back into tabletop. Beautifully done. From here we're coming up. If you know yoga, you'll know down dog, but if you do it well, it's a really beautiful little movement. Lifting up, bending the knees. You can keep with the knees bent. We want to open the shoulders out, keeping all the 4 roots of the palms, little toe, a little finger, index finger, and the roots of the palms into the floor. Lift the sit bones up to the sky. Open those hips out gently. Keep the medial arches of the feet lifted, toe spaces open, and lengthen the heels towards the floor in a way that feels good, keeping that back long and open. And breathe well here. Breathe well here. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8 breaths, whatever. Take one foot to the midline and take the other leg up into the air and reach up and open. Lift and lower the heel a few times with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. The second toe is pointing forwards. Space between the big toe and the second toe is ideally, if you can. Step that foot forward, up behind the hands. Put the back knee down to the floor. Inhale, come up and open to this position here. Hands on the pelvis. Check your pelvis is facing more or less forwards. Plant the back toe on the floor. If you take the knee out slightly and the femur through the patella, through the second toe, and drop down into this, you'll come into here. And we want to make sure the transverse abdominals are gently squeezed in here. The tailbone is softly tucked, ready to look after that lower back. And we're going to come in gently here. If it feels good, you can take the arms up and open. You can take the arms up into the air. Cross the thumbs, fingertips to touch. Inhale, open up. And simply squeeze up and lift. And exhale, lower down. Inhale up, straighten the front leg, drop the hands to the floor, take the hands out to the outside of the leg, just pulse a few times, breathing, breathing, pulsing, hands to the inside of the leg, breathing and pulsing. And hands down to the floor, step back and up to the other side. Lifting and lowering the heel with the breath, second toe pointing forwards. Check your pelvis is facing forwards, femur out slightly, so it clears the space between the iliac crest here and the rectus femoris. And we can drop down into this. Tailbone gently drop, transverse abdominals on, arms up and open if it feels good. And we can breathe well here, just breathing and moving. Up and open, straighten the front leg. Arms across the outside, just reach and breathe and pulse. And across the other side and play with the movements here. Hands down to the floor. Step back into a high plank. Take 3 or 4 breaths here. Put your knees down if you need to, otherwise you're going to come down towards the floor. Head down and just walk the legs gently if this feels good. Lift upper back again, lift the pelvis up. One leg forward, second leg forward into sitting. So from here, we're going to roll backwards. And again, you can take hold of your feet if that helps you, reaching over the top of the feet. And you can practice just rolling back and rolling forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back. Inhale forward and up. Yeah? And then we can start playing with the exhale. So make sure we don't hurt, we're attentive to the neck here. So we're going to breathe back. Knees to the forehead. Feet up to the ceiling, reaching up to the sky there. So we can roll back and up. And if that feels good, you can play on the floor here, playing on the ground. Rolling to the side. Inhale to the center, exhale to the side. Inhale to the center, exhale to the side. Playing with this movement. And keep one knee bent, reach with the top leg over to the opposite hand. And tuck in, roll up. This little movement, take your time with this one. We're going to be rolling out one shoulder and rolling over the shoulder. Don't try this if you're worried at all, okay? Just watch it. Inhale. It brings us back onto all fours. Up we come, back to standing. Stand and breathe. Very simply to finish up, we're simply going to play with this movement. Breathing out as the arms come out. And then up on the toes and slowly down with the heels. Up on the toes, down to squat, breathing out. Up on the toes, down to squat with the arms up and breathing out. Back down to the floor. Back into sitting. Into a squat. Just opening up. Opening the hips and reaching and lifting up and pulsing in the squat. Pulsing and breathing. Lower down. Sit down. Comfortable sitting position, whatever works for you. I recommend putting one palm on top of the other. Thumb tips touching. Half close or close the eyes and come into the breath. Land your mind fully into the breath. Feel the breath entering and leaving. Feel the breath entering and leaving. Give the breath back to the brainstem. And in whatever way you do, however you do it, find some gratitude for this breath, for this life, for this incredible weave of DNA and mitochondria and earth elements and sunlight and the cosmos. Give thanks in whatever way you do. Gratitude is medicine.